Trust in your plans. Trust in your process. Trust in your plans. Trust.
Welcome again back to that podcast, with
Pastor Wandile.
and Jerry, aka the Zim Dream Kid, and we are here live again, pushing as usual. Shout out to everybody that's subscribing. Shout out to everybody that's watching, that's supporting, that's sharing.
Thank you.
Doing the things, and everybody that's enjoying the show. I mean, like, you guys are doing amazing jobs by sharing. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So if you haven't subscribed, please make sure that you subscribe and click the notification bell, because we're going to be pre-launching the episodes that you can see what's coming up, so you can also get notified when the fresh episode is ready to, to be launched, and we can get it ready to watch on it. Let's dive into what we have today. I don't know. What's up today?
Okay, so today we're going to talk about something very interesting.
All right.
I think it's interesting on the aspect that we are all, we all actually go through it.
Right, really? Are you sure?
I promise you, there's no way that you could be a human being or be a person and don't go through this. Okay, so today the topic is burning bridges.
Yeah, some of you are cringing because you know yourself, like, what you've been doing.
So today we're talking about burning bridges, and what does it mean to burn bridges?
Burn bridges, like, it's a term obviously that we have now grown up understanding that burning a bridge is when you had a link to someone, some type of a relationship, and then you decide at one point, or usually there's always friction or contention or something that causes
something that it's more associated with problems
that come between that relationship or that link or that whatever association with a certain someone or with a certain group of people. And then you decide, you know what, I'm going to literally discommunicate, or what did they call it, excommunicado, with this type of person or this type of people. No discussing, no questions asked. I don't want anything to do with it. No, what you call it, closure. No, nothing. You just cut off.
Just cut ties like that.
And usually, most of the times, you just when it really comes to it, like, to specify when you say burning a bridge, is like when you let the problem, you live in the midst of the problem.
You let the problem become so much.
Like you and me, and we have a problem. Then we don't discuss about it, and we just stop talking to each other.
And it becomes so much that there's no way to actually restore that relationship.
Yes, that's the perfect example, where you literally have burnt any form of communication
between the two of you.
It's really tense.
It's even awkward when you guys are meeting each other at a mall. You see the person from
one alley, you're like, by bread, you find yourself in the Pampas alley because
just because you're trying to avoid this person. But on your terms, do you think is it a good thing to burn bridges?
Burn bridges?
Yeah, to just burn bridges, or any bridge at all. What do you think about burning bridges? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing?
It's usually a bad thing. But some bridges, I think, deserve to be burned. Some bridges.
What are the conditions to burn the bridges?
When you're burning a bridge, I think when you get to a point where you're burning a bridge, I feel like you realize that this is never going to work out.
Okay.
And this relationship is working against me every time I try to put any effort in it.
Yeah. Okay.
And you realize at this point in time, I was watching Maxine's Baby. That's Tyler Perry's documentary on how from his inception to where he is now as the Tyler Perry that we know. And he has just realized his father is never going to have a good relationship with him. And he's like, it's cool with that. So he's like, whatever. Because he has tried. The man abused him and still forgave him later on in his life. But the man doesn't want any relationship with him as a father and son. And at that point in time, you realize, you know what? There's no need for me to invest in this relationship.
Yeah, that's kind of deep.
So at that point in time, I think even if he keeps the bridge, burns the bridge, it doesn't really matter.
But I also like how you said it's generally not a good thing to burn bridges. Because I think personally we go through so much in life and we can't predict life. You get my point. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to... Even the shock of our lives right now at our age is the pandemic, the 2020.
Yeah, that one.
Where everybody was on lockdown, you know. And the only people you really had was your family. Your close relations, your friends. And everybody else was minding their own business.
Yeah, true.
You know. And then just imagine if you had burnt your family bridge at that time. That means you're gonna be stuck, bro. You get my point? Like you're gonna be all alone.
All alone. And most people, that's when they wanted to go cuckoos, because they were all alone.
Because they didn't have anybody to communicate with, you know. But burning bridges is, I think it's two-sided. It is two-sided, because for bases like toxic, yes, burn that bridge. If it's toxic, burn it.
If it's super toxic,
if it's abusive, you burn that bridge. There's no doubt about it. If it's there are also some differences. Some differences like that can't be you know compromised. So I think you burn those bridges as well.
But you just, I feel like burning a bridge, you just don't wake up and just say you're gonna burn a bridge, because you have to be very considerate if you're gonna burn a bridge, because this is a very major move when you decide, you know what, I'm about to burn this bridge, and say no, I'm literally excommunicating from this person. So I think it's when you're burning a bridge, it has reached an extreme.
Okay.
It's not like it's because some bridges you don't necessarily have to burn them.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You just walk away from
it. You just let it be.
You just don't cross it.
Yeah, you just let it be, and then one day when peradventure there's repentance,
there might be, you know,
there's a change of heart, you know, then the bridge can be crossed again.
Be crossed, you know. But if some bridges you just decide, you know what, I'm not going to cross this bridge, but you don't burn it, because when you burn it, the chances of you returning are like slim. It's like second to none.
Yeah.
Because you've literally said, we're not talking anymore. This is
we're not getting back to it.
So if you're deciding to burn a bridge, it must be at an extreme.
Okay.
Like it has reached that extreme, like you say, this person is super toxic. This person is really bad for me. Otherwise, some bridges you just don't have to cross them.
But don't you think it's slowly killing our generation, Jerome, that everybody's optimistic of the fact that if he's abusive, or a friend is abusive, or even in relationships now, you know, you get women saying that no, it's okay, he's gonna change. Isn't that a bit over optimistic? If somebody is actually being abusive to you, isn't that a bridge to burn?
I'll go back to the fact that if it's extreme, where I know our generation is developing this thing where they think everything is self-made, where you cut everyone off and you think you're gonna do everything by yourself.
No, it doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. You're gonna need people in any association, bro. I don't care how big your dream is.
Every dream needs a helping hand.
You know, because you're gonna need people. So you can't be going around burning bridges and, you know, discommunicating with people. It doesn't work like that. But I feel like when you've done an assessment of the relationship, right, and you realize this person is abusive, it's either you realize, okay, I'm not going to cross this bridge anymore, or I'm literally going to have to burn it. And if, for example, if you have a very toxic ex, burn that bridge, because you are looking forward to a husband or a wife.
Yeah.
So you have to literally burn that one, because you don't want it to be haunting you in the future, because you didn't burn it. You left it, and it's now, you know, there's still... You can kind of like cross it a little bit. You're giving room for a little bit of... Now, when you're in a new relationship that's going towards like a marriage type of vibes, and then your other counterpart realize, oh, wait, there's a bridge here. That's what's going on.
He'll be walking up. Like, what's this?
There's a bridge here that I don't understand. So at that point in time, I think you realize, okay, no, this particular bridge, this one deserves to be detonated, blasted. We're not crossing this one. Then some odds you beg. I think you have to assess.
You have to assess.
Before you burn the bridge.
You truly have to assess. Because I also think the type of bridges you are burning, it matters as well. Because you can't say, you burning a bridge with your family members, it's your brother, it's your family, and there are some circumstances that are extreme. Yes, okay, maybe you might end up having to burn the bridges, but I personally think you really need to assess the bridges you burn.
But with family though, that like, I think the older you get, you realize because I want to touch on that. Like,
Okay.
when it comes to burning bridges with families, it's queer. I feel like because it will be a balance that I just discuss it. Because when I assess you, right, like you remind me of my other cousins. My other cousins, they never really had outside friends. They had like few friends,
Okay.
but their friends were themselves. Like
That's
they're
the
like three
family.
brothers. They're the family, and they had one sister. And it's the same with you. Like, I realize you have outside friends, right? But most of the time, it's you guys.
Yeah.
You and your
Yeah,
brother,
my brothers,
and your mom and whatever. But for me, it was different. Now, for me, it was different. Yes, I had cousins and everything, but I had developed other stronger relationships. Like, I have a close friend called Kelvin. Like, he's like my brother.
Yeah.
Like, we know each other back to back like that, but
Yeah.
we're not blood. So now, growing up, I've seen like sometimes you realize in family, you're like, it doesn't click, and you realize sometimes family, is it really about blood, or is really about the relationship that you have built throughout growing up? So now it feels awkward when you have to burn a bridge with a family member. For you, I think it would be because you've grown
Because
up.
we close.
But for me, I'm like,
Let it burn.
because you know that, this person, come on, man.
I get that. But it depends, Jerem. Like, for example, if you're saying you're just burning a bridge with your family just because you don't like them, that's
No, I feel
that's
like
something different. But there are extreme cases where
Yeah.
you burn bridges because maybe there's some family problems that are really
family
toxic
problem,
to you.
toxic, yeah.
And there's some cases I don't feel comfortable talking about, but there are things people do these days that that are so demonic and highly hurtful and spiteful.
Yeah.
So
So where I'm trying to go with this is it should you burn bridges with family? And what is the definition for family now these days? In your own thingy, because that'll give us room. Okay, should we? Because my definition of family from our upbringing is kind of different.
It's different. I get the family you're talking about. So considering your side of the story,
My
as well,
setup.
I'd say family is anyone that's it's not blood related only. Because that's where we get now children that are adopted, people that were raised by families that didn't give birth to them.
Yeah.
So family is anyone that's there for you throughout time. I say time because
They have to be tried and tested.
yes, it has to go through the seasons of.
Yeah.
You can't just come when things are good and then your family. No. You have to be there when things are down. You have to be there when things are up. You have to be there when things are going wrong, when I'm making mistakes, and this is where it's called family, because even when it does not benefit you, you're still there for me. You get that? That's family. That's family. You're there to advise. You're there to support. You're there to help. You're there to guide.
That's family.
Yeah, that is family. And then obviously we get the family you are born into,
Blood
related, and in Africa all other things are happening with blood related families. But family to me is anyone that's there for you through the ups and downs.
So now, going back to the question, so can we burn bridges with family? Is it healthy to burn bridges with family? Is it because I think family is the most sensitive one, because you stay with these people every day, and or these people are in your circle, and everything. So they do kind of affect your life on how you move with your life. So is it okay to burn bridges, or there's a circumstances, or
I say it's not okay. And please allow me to say something. I say
let them cook.
I say it's not okay. Okay. Why am I saying that? Because I'm remembering a scripture where Jesus was talking to the people, and he was teaching them. He was 12 years old, and then they came and said, "Jesus, your mother and your father is looking for you." And then he said to them, "My mother and my father are the people that are here with me."
Yeah.
The people that are here in my circle. No, I'm sorry. He wasn't 12 years old at that time. He was a bit older. So he said the people that are my mother and my father are people that are here in my circle that are doing my father's will.
Doing what I'm doing.
You know. So it's closely associated with being in line with my will and what I'm doing and my beliefs and my thought patterns. So that's where family is. So if we're talking about
burning bridges
with family members, I'm already thinking of people that are doing things that are not diabolic, you know, crazy stuff that don't align with your beliefs. People that open the door to wickedness and trouble and hurt and pain, you know. There are family members that just hurt you and you didn't do anything to them, sir.
Yeah.
You get that? So with those family members, no matter how hard you try, they will still just go back and hurt you. You give them the chance, they still go back and do it.
So with those ones, it's
so I say, don't burn the bridge as such. But
they are hurting you, Pastor. Like you realize this person is hurting you. Like even when we put it in the African context, some are witchcraft dealing with you, and you have heard prophecies that this person is dealing with you. Well, obviously you're not gonna confront. It's not wise to say you're bewitching me.
Don't confront. Never confront any battle unless God gives you the go ahead. Because if you fight without the Lord, you fight in vain. So but you don't confront.
So at that point in time, I think it's good for them to
burn the bridge.
It depends, because some you really realize, like what I said in the African context, like how some really some have bewitched the point that they've killed close family members.
People die for real.
You know, people die in this thing, and you're saying we shouldn't burn the bridge. I'm just saying, and you have family members that have really abused other family members.
Chai. It's tricky, sir. Because I'll say burn the bridge. And then what happens when the person repents? You know, and it's harder to restore a bridge than it is to break it down. You know, maybe peradventure they operating under some form of influence that doesn't allow them to see
what they're
hurting
doing.
the family, or they're doing wickedness to the family.
Yeah,
and then one day they repent, they realize, no, I'm doing wrong my family, and I'm sorry.
Because also what you need to consider the fact that when you're burning the bridge, sometimes you're not burning the bridge because you just want to burn the bridge. You're burning the bridge because it's also for your mental health.
It's for your own.
Because sometimes when you're in the same circumference of always seeing the person that hurt you, it kind of messes you up.
Yeah, it does. It actually does.
Because now you at the end of the day, you have to forgive them for yourself. Not for them.
Yeah.
But I think it also kind of like makes it easier for your life just not to be around that person and just to stay away and then just, forget about them. So
I think the family issue is really tricky because, hey, it's sensitive. It's all dependent on
how deep
the cut is, or the wound is.
Yeah.
So you that's why we said initially that you have to assess before actually burning the bridge.
So we're saying that if it's a family thing, it depends on how deep
the wound is.
Because family is very sensitive. That's why I wanted to talk about it. But I think you have to assess how deep the cut, because some cuts are
they are.
You at a point it's fine. You can discommunicate, and then some cuts, like what you're saying, is you have to don't cross it. Let's leave it like that. Maybe something will,
Yeah, sometimes some bridges are not even to burn, Jeremy, because you find that the person is toxic verbally. They say all these wicked things to you and hurtful things, but only to find that they don't really mean that. They just have so much going on in there.
And also to add to that is that some bridges, some family things like that, before you burn that bridge, you need to assess. You actually discover that it might be a generational thing. You need to stop.
That you need to break.
It goes back to what we spoke about in one of the episodes. That it's a pattern. You thinking that no, this person is abusive or this but
it's running in the blood.
So you have to realize, okay, this might not be a burning bridge issue, but it's me stopping this issue.
Yeah.
So that my kids,
and your family can be, this is why also every child is born into a family, because they are born to change the course of the family. They are born out of a need for the family.
For the family.
So what's in you is enough to help the family become better or change or progress forward. So sometimes that's why it's important to understand what's your role in your family, so that you know exactly whether am I here to burn this bridge, or am I here to just stop what's going on. Because God doesn't make mistakes to bring you into a family with so much toxic energy and abusive words, and then say, no, you be here just so that you can hear. No, it's because in you there's the power to be able to break this pattern. There's the force, that the energy for you to be able to stop what's going on. For other families, there's so many things happening. Like, for example, in other families, they don't know how to stop women issues. The father cheated on their mother, the grandfather cheated on who their brothers are cheating, and now it's happening to them. So that bridge is, you can't just set it on lit and say no, because I don't want to be a part of this family anymore. You get my point?
You guys are
so you there to change the course of that family. So after you, people are supposed to become
better.
Live better, not walk in the old ways of the fathers or the surroundings, but change the course of the family. Bring in righteousness, bring in holiness, bring in no sex before marriage. You get my point? Because this is why God gives us family, so that we can change the course of that family.
Now, when we talk, the thing about burning bridges now is, I think, especially our generation, we like just cutting.
We too quick to burn bridges,
and like we just been saying that some bridges don't deserve to be lit
up.
Yeah,
they haven't done enough to be burnt, bro.
But because you do not know what is ahead. Because now the thing about burning bridges is that most bridges you can't return to.
No, you can't. Once it's burnt, it's done.
It's done. Because now, if for example, we have some type of friendship, right? You burn the bridge, that means there's no more communication, there's no more help or any sort of thing, and you have literally closed the door for what could have been something beautiful in the future.
Yeah.
And sometimes it might be because that person is in a different season. That's why you're not really connecting with them. You had a fight, everything. And maybe I'm in my season where I'm trying to figure out my life, and then we
just had a misunderstanding
and then you decide to burn the bridge. Then I become right. Then how do you look now? When you're looking at, you're like, but wait a minute.
And you want to cross back. Now there's no bridge there for you to cross.
Because you really burned the bridge.
Yeah, the relationship is done. The friendship is gone. You can't go back to it again. So that's how it works. You have to assess. You have to be wise about it. But one thing I think that is most important about whether to burn the bridge or not is effective communication. You have to effectively communicate.
Yes.
Because this is the reason why there's a lot of misunderstanding in our generation and the lives of the people. They're not communicating well.
I think that's one of the problems with the generation, because we are growing up, especially men, we are not taught on how to
communicate. We don't know these things. We only learn it now through the word of God.
I think especially for men later on in life,
it's hard. It's very hard. And I think we've spoke about this, where people don't pass on information, they don't share things, and that's all part of the communication. And even in relationships, if I have a friend or I have a person I'm with now, like that I'm working with, a business partner, we have to communicate. We have to effectively communicate. So that we both on the same page. Even if you do something that doesn't work with me, I'm not just gonna turn my face and walk away. I have to communicate.
Or start some type of contention that will lead to damaging the relationship.
I have to communicate.
We have to, because communication now is leading to dealing with what you call tension.
Yes.
So if you don't know how to deal with tension, then it's going to end up in hurtful words. Have you realized, for example, if when someone is outraged,
everybody's on fire.
Everyone is on fire, and you throw it on fire. You're literally escalating.
You create.
But if someone shouts at you and you're like, you cool down your voice. You know that person literally comes back to the level that you are.
Yeah, it's true. They'll go up and come down.
Come down, then you start talking.
And then you start talking.
But if you guns up.
That's why communication is key, Joram. Communication is key to be able to know whether I am burning this bridge or I am not. You have to communicate your stand. That I'm hurt right now and I don't like what you are doing. If a person does it again, then yes, let's go ahead. You get. But if the person's like, I don't know what's going on with me. I thought, I remember one time, me and my wife, we were like, I don't know what happened, but she was like quiet. You get that? And I was quiet. And then we went through like a couple of hours. Both of us were quiet. No one was talking. Oh. And then I was like, let me see what's going on. I just asked her what's wrong. And then she said, I just saw you quiet, so I kept quiet. And I said, but I saw you quiet, so that's why I kept quiet. There was no problem. Literally, there was nothing wrong. It's just that we didn't
giving each other silent treatments.
Yeah, it's just that we didn't communicate. Maybe she read a sign from me that gave her the impression I wasn't talking to her, and so vice versa. You get that? But there was no problem. It's just that we both decided not to communicate. And then when we did communicate, we laughed it out, and they're like, "Oh, so you're just not talking to me because I wasn't talking." There was nothing there.
But it just took for you guys to be like, hey, but hey, you're quiet.
Yeah,
why
you? What's happening?
What's going on?
So that's how it's supposed to be with every relationship, even with your family. This is how it's supposed to be. If they're doing something like, let's prevention now, we Christians, we don't do these ancestral sacrificial things. We don't do boyfriend and girlfriend, And in your family, they support all these things. You get that? So you effectively communicate your stand, and you be like, no, I'm Christian. I don't do this.
So please, it's like this, it's like this,
yes.
It's like this. Now, however they take it, or however, and also when you're saying effectively communicating, they might take it, or they might get a whatever bad rub or whatever from your vibe. But it's now the language that you're going to use in talking is very important.
It's very important.
That's why I think you purposefully chose the words effective communication.
Yeah.
Because it has to be effective.
It has to be.
You're not probing a problem or contention or
you're not starting a problem by telling them I'm a Christian, I don't want to do this. I won't do this.
Solutions.
Which is right. However, but you need to also find a way to put it to them. Even in relationships now, people are trying their luck. They will date multiple people, then whoever is the one, like it's becoming so like a lotto. What do you call it, bro?
It's
a lotto draw.
I don't know what it is, like some game show or something.
No, but that's not how it works, because now you have so many bridges to burn after all that, and then now even when the right person eventually comes, there's like so much going on,
like what you're saying about having too many relationships now, sometimes it can cause what we call soul ties. Now you are tied to another person emotionally and spiritually. But physically, you think you have cut the bridge.
Yeah, this thing of what no strings attached doesn't work in this generation.
Well, that's what
it doesn't work.
That's what we think.
I think every time you engage in a relationship, you are affecting something in your life, bro.
Yeah, because that's why you need to be very. Some people end up burning bridges because they were not. Every relationship, like what you're saying, is intentional.
Yeah.
So if you are having whether it's a friendship or you're going out in, obviously we encourage, if you're going out with a specific mission, which is marriage.
Yeah.
That's your intention.
To marry.
Yeah, that should be your.
And not just going out to clubs and
no,
not going out to lodges and stuff. No,
and doing
not that. No, we don't encourage that.
Yeah, we don't
encourage
get
us
that.
wrong.
Don't get us wrong. So whether it's a family relationship or it's a brother or it's a colleague and everything, those relationships have to be very, very intentional as you grow up, because they do affect your life. This is when you're now finding yourself in a space where you're now burning bridges, because you realize, this thing is not really benefiting me. But from the get-go, you saw that this person is not really for me.
You ignored the red flags, bro.
Yeah, like you realize so that this is not, this business really is wasting my money, or this business is not clean.
It's unethical.
It's not and then you now like, I gotta burn this bridge. But you were not very intentional with the relationship that you had from the get-go. So you have to be intentional with the relationship from the day one.
From the get-go.
From day one. So that you won't have problems now that, okay, now I'm trying to bend this one, I'm trying to bend that bridge, I'm trying to bend. No. Be intentional with the relationships that you have before you get to a place where you starting to burn bridges.
And this is also important. It's not everyone that is meant for you.
Yeah.
It's not everyone that is meant to be your friend. It's not everyone that is meant to be your business partners. So you need to really be intentional about it. You need to understand what you need to do, your purpose, and then work your way towards your relationships as well. Because if you don't understand yourself, it also affects your relationships.
Yes.
You get that? It also affects. This is why people make so many mistakes, because they don't understand who they are, what they are doing, what they are supposed to do.
Because now, one thing our generation is not understanding is that really your moving forward, or your, what should I say, your capital is your relationships. Now, because it's all based on relationships. So now if you're waking up each and every day because you're emotionally whatever driven, you're gonna burn bridges because whatever that you. But you need to understand that your assets around you are based on relationships. So you have to be very intentional on who you keep or you don't keep. I feel like, for example, I think Jesus he didn't burn the bridge with Judas. He just told him, it is what it is, bro. The man killed himself.
No, he didn't burn the bridge.
He just let it be.
He didn't burn it. And he knew what he was doing.
He knew his intention, but he just, he said, let it be. And the same with Peter. He didn't burn the bridge because imagine he said, dude, you betrayed me 3 times.
Because he left the room for Peter to repent.
But to repent.
Even the same with Judas. He left that room for him to repent.
But he dealt with himself.
Yeah.
And then that's the Peter that we see now, the great apostle. But imagine if he decided to burn the bridge, or Peter said, nah, man, it's not going to work. Let's just burn this bridge.
Yeah.
Then he would have cut himself off from being the great apostle.
The great apostle for truth.
Because sometimes, some people disqualify themselves from certain relationships because they feel like, oh, nah. Because Peter, he was the one who offended him. So he's like, maybe I don't deserve to be a disciple. Then he goes and says, you know what? It's fine. Let me just burn the bridge. Anyway, I kind of like hurt the person. But it's now for you also. Some bridges are burned because you felt like you hurt the person. But you don't actually have peace. What you need to do is go fix this bridge.
Fix your relationships. And I'm not talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. Fix your relationship that matter to progress you forward, to advance you forward.
Strongly advise
you have to understand this. It's very, very important for you to understand that it's not every person that is meant for you. So those that are meant for you, you need to recognize them. And then if anything goes wrong, fix it. Apologize.
Yes.
Apologize if it's your fault.
Don't burn it.
Correct the errors and work forward. Every dream needs a helping hand.
I think we recently saw where our father was reconciling with his son.
One of his sons.
He realized that he had burnt the bridge.
It's true.
So he reconciled. It's like the prodigal son. He was like, you know what? At this point in time, this ain't gonna work. Let me just go reconcile with my father to get my life moving.
It's true. So and the sad part about the bridge is once you burn it, it's so hard to rebuild it. It's really hard. It even becomes a bit toxic in the rebuilding process.
Very.
So if you can work through that, then you will be able to rebuild the bridge.
You have to be very intentional in actually. It's going to be scourging because you have to feel it because you have burnt. If you, for example, you burnt a bridge that you realize, I think I might want to rebuild this bridge. Then you're going to have to be intentionally, and it might not be the same way it was, but you have to face the consequences. For example, if you had a problem with, let's say I had a problem with you and everything, then I know I'm the one that caused this bridge to be burnt. However, your conditions that you will give me, I should work with them because I'm the one that burnt this bridge.
Yeah.
So if you saying no, bro, you're pushing like, okay, now you're giving me some type of vibe where you talk to me at, you know, because I hurt you.
Yeah.
So I can't say no, but I ask for forgiveness. Why won't you forgive me? No.
You have to work past all
Well,
that
to
energy.
pass that, all that negative vibe energy, or that kind of pushback, because
Yeah.
I'm the one that thing. So now you have to work it out till we get to that place
It's
where we
true.
can say, you know,
It's
okay,
true.
no, nah, we cool.
It's true. So I think we will close it at this, that you have to assess before you burn the bridges. You can't predict life. This is important. You can't predict life. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Those bridges can be for your children also.
It can benefit you. It might be toxic now or hurtful now, or you can't work with it now. But assess it before you burn it, because there's benefit with every bridge, and there's lessons with every bridge. So the ones you burn, you learn from them.
Yes.
The ones you keep, you continue with them.
The ones that you have burnt, but you knew they were good, fix them.
Fix them. Work to fix them. Don't let your pride kill.
Yes.
Pride comes before a fall.
Yeah, and because you will kill a bridge that is meant for your future.
For your future.
This
For your
person might
future.
literally have a communication key to the next door that you want, but now you guys have bad vibes. How is it going to happen? So
Yeah.
think about it.
Think about it, and if that guy wants to sleep with you before marrying you, burn that bridge. You gotta burn that bridge. Shut it down.
You heard it from the pastor. Disclaimer, you heard it from the pastor. He's saying, burn the bridge. So yeah, I think that's where we'll
stop for today.
From today. And then, so come on, guys. Why don't you subscribe? All this good stuff that's being cooked here.
Give us energy, man.
Come on, man. So please do subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Don't forget to share the clips. We're also really, really, really looking forward to your comments, because we want to hear what you guys think and what you guys want us to talk about. We have heard one topic that we are also in the pipeline and working through the comment section.
Yeah.
So your comments help us to, build better content and stuff like that. It's Jorim, aka the Zim Dream Kid.
Pastor One Delay here.
And we out.
Signing out, fellas.
Trust in your plans, trust in your process, trust in your plans, trust